Turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up. Let's go. Shit, I'm late to the party, but fuck it. Let's go. Mm, 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 mm. Fuck. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, all right, all right. I had to vibe. I had to vibe for a minute. I had to vibe for a minute. Hey, look, check this out. Check this out. All right, this is your boy Don Peter Gentleman, aka the Exoticpreneur, aka Mr. Snatcherini. You know where defining your purpose is, where to provide. Belief is everything. Come on, transfer your health so you can get this wealth. It's all like that. So, what I wanted to kick it with you on for today, realistically, is actually something that was actually near and dear to me, but more importantly, is to another level. So, I just want to kick some knowledge and drop a quick sound and just tell you a quick story. So, when how do you, what it was is why did I get out the game? Like, what made me change the whole mo? So, in that industry, there's a lot of ups and downs. It's just like the stock market, just like any business. The thing is that how do you know when you done been in too long or it's time to go? How do you reach out to your family members or somebody that's in the industry, in the game? You know, when you're in that type of industry, when the sign starts telling you. See, the thing is that, you know, the universe, God, creator, whatever your spiritual belief is, or whatever your higher power, hopefully you got one. You're always going to get signs before the demise. Okay, you're always going to get signs before the demise. But first thing first, you know, you're always going to, the universe is God or whatever is going to always give you some type of indicator that it's time to go. For me, and if you're paying attention, if you're aware, if you decide to allow yourself to be conscious or aware of what's happening around you and what's happening to you, then you're going to be able to see and catch it. Track with me. First thing, the first is that how I realized that I was in too deep and it was time for me to go. Because one thing that the universe does is they hit you with signs in three. You're always going to get hit with a three ball. You know, when things happen in a certain level of consequence or some level of things, that's when the universe is trying to tell you, the creator is trying to get your attention, to pay attention, that there's a lesson in here, there's something that you need to move away from, or something you need to move towards, or something that you need to stop. And the universe is constantly pulling at you and letting you know exactly what it is that you need to catch. Now, the thing is that when things start happening, a lot of times we get it so caught up into what that is happening to us, and then instead of asking the real question, is it happening for us? Okay, so when you get into when stuff start happening, you start realizing that at this point bullshit is really hitting you, then that's at that point when you need to sit down and sit still and start asking the question, like, why is this happening? What am I doing wrong? What is it that the creator is trying to get my attention on? How do I come to this realization? Because this night, I actually, in the game, I was actually up a couple times, and I end up coming back down. Like, what happens for me, retrograde, and for those that know what that is, retrograde happens. When retrograde happens, my income goes up. So retrograde hits a lot of people a lot of different ways, but for me it actually is a positive, because it takes me back to wherever I was the best at, which most people in retrograde, and then I'm going to explain to you what retrograde is real quick. It's basically when the earth itself and the actual universe itself in space actually shifts a certain type of way, where that all of the alignment of the actual moon and other planets align, and it creates a gravitational influx, and that gravitational influx actually affects us mentally in our actual waves. Now we all are energy. Now let's get the thing. We all are relative energy in ourselves, including money. So because of that, gravitational pulls and the different earths license, what happens is that people start being on the zig boom, and things start happening very weird. Now what happens in my space is that I start getting a lot of business. People really start contacting me, so that lets me know that I'm supposed to be in business. Now here's the track part. When retrograde is over, I go back to a space where I'm struggling and working harder for the same energy. Why? Because retrograde is actually a lesson based off the universal pool of what you're missing or not doing. How does this apply? You ever been in a space where that all of a sudden everything start going wrong? All of a sudden, just like you start getting in arguments with your mate. Your car is breaking down and not working right, and your kids is acting a fool, and you start getting phone calls with them. But the thing is it's not like sporadic, it's all consecutively. Or like you lose a loved one, your money start getting funny, and then your spouse or loved one start arguing with you, or you lose your job. You lose your job. Your friend get killed right behind each other, and then your cousin gets locked up. It all happens in a consensual things. That 3 is let you know that your environment may be in jeopardy of breaking you down. That's 1. Or is to let you know like you're too close to a space or energy that is going to actually, that you think is just somebody happened to it, but it's actually a destructive energy trying to get you to separate from that space. Track with me. How I know this to be true? When I start catching those sequential mishaps, I started noticing a pattern. The pattern was, like I told you before, when the pattern started happening, it was like, hey, look, every year I'm up and then I'm back in the same place that I once were before. Every year I'm up and I'm financially up, money up, doing good. The next, I'm back in the same place of financial, trying to figure out how I'm gonna cut my check in that early part. So in my cycle, every 3 months at the end of the year to the beginning of the year, things is all out of work. Now you would think like in a normal fashion that, oh, that's just the way the industry works, what I'm saying, based off of what industry you're in. That's not true. Because if you're doing things the right way, like do your job stop running when you actually are working? No, it doesn't. So it runs all year round. You get what I'm saying? If do the grocery store, the department store stop closed just because it's Christmas or the snow is outside? No, it don't. You still gonna, all commodities, businesses always keep going. People are still doing something all year round. So the thing that you're saying that is all that it just only happened in this year or that year doesn't make sense when you put it in perspective of what's really happening. What's really happening is there's a lesson of what are you not preparing for or what you're not accounting for when shit is happening. So track with me. In my case, it was financial management. So I make all this money from, during the time when I was in the bar gang. I make all this money from September, let me take that back. From August all the way up to February, then all the way up to December. Then it stopped from in January. Then it starts back up from February all the way into July. So that's a 6.5, 7 month period where that is financial abundance. Now, in that point, I was supposed to account for all these other rainy days, but not even rainy days. It just count for longevity and consistency. What because most of us live check to check, product to product, job to job, or hustle to hustle, that we don't account for. Like, hey, look, there's a rainy day fund and there's a non-rainy day fund. There's a hey, account for this, but leave this alone type of situation. So this is actually a lesson on, this is just a quick little tip on wealth management, money management in connection, financial literacy in connection to your progress and your progression. So when everything started happening in my case, I had to start practicing financial management, financial literacy, financial money management principles, which in my case, it was the 60-40 rule, where that, I live off 60% of my income, but I put 10% away for my charity, 10% away for my savings, 10% away for my fund, and 10% away for my 10% away for savings. So because of that system allowed me to get back at. Now, there's a great book I want to drop to you. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon is literally a biblical based. So it's not a biblical based story, but it is a story about how a man became rich, then got poor, and then grinded his way back up. So I highly suggest that y'all get that book. It's fire. You feel me? It's an old book, but it's still, the principles still apply. So if you ever was wondering why your financial breakthrough ain't got there, get the book. You'll learn a lot about how to handle yourself in despair, how to handle yourself in those spaces of financial ruin. So that was my lesson for me. And mind you, I read that book when I was 18. I read the book when I was 24. Read the book when I was 30. Read the book when I was 34. Read the book when I was 40. And it clicked to me the second and third time, because what happens is that you start missing. You be wondering, like, why is this happening? And if you're a reader like me, you're reading and you're learning from other people's knowledge. That's why you read. Like, if you're not reading, I said, highly suggest start reading some fucking books, just to get your head in the right game. If you're trying to figure out, like, why ain't you winning in the game? Like, you got a lot of people online that's in here pushing their programs and things so you can hit a lick. But I'm telling you, I'm in the room with these fools. These fools are reading. They're educating themselves. They're feeding their mind, and they're selling you just a dime. They're selling you some pennies, but they're educating and getting quarters. So my goal and my goal with y'all is to challenge both sides. I want y'all to get the quarters, but I want y'all, but I also, if y'all can't put yourself in a position to get the quarters, at least I'm gonna give y'all some pennies that y'all can put together and start compounding. Okay. Now I don't want to talk over your head. I want you to track with me. I just want you to catch the gem inside the gym. You feel me what I'm saying? So when you catch the gem inside the gym, I put together situations and programs that allow you to be in the room in the mindset of those that are doing real high level business, but also changing lives in a high level way. Now, the cost of entry, or VIP, is high. If you want to be VIP, it's going to cost you. Like when I was in the club game and I was really going hard, we charge more for time. You don't want to wait in line. You're going to pay a high entry tax. Facts are facts. You feel me? Now, everybody else that's waiting in line, they got to get in how they fit in. Why? Because they got to pay a lesser fee to get in the situation. Now, in some places I liked it, in some places I didn't. Now, why did I like it? Because because it made people feel inadequate. It made people feel inadequate because this person did this and he paid a little extra money. Now he able to skip the line. So I understand capitalism very well. So I ain't against it. Now don't get it ever twisted. I am never against capitalism in that space. Only because that's how the world works. Somebody's gonna earn a little bit more than the next person. It's just what it is. Okay. But I seen the reaction on that. The thing is that I didn't like was that how many people was making it so difficult to be in that space where that you couldn't teach a person to get on. So there was times where you had to get a relationship. For me, I got a lot of relationships, so I ended up getting in VIP and it didn't cost me a dime. I ended up getting able to skip the line because I knew the right people. Track with me. So there's the connection of having the money and just getting in the room. Then there's money of having good relationships and getting in the room. So me, I chose the latter. I'd rather work with better people and higher quality, present myself as valuable in exchange for access to where you at and what you're doing. Okay. So these are tips that you want to do if you want to figure out how to get in places that you ain't been and you don't have the funds to get in. You feel what I'm saying? You can use these strategies behind it. So these are the signs that I'm passing on to you. But here, track. I don't want to get too far off subject. So when I started catching signs or start catching hell and start seeing that, hey, look, I got a pattern in my financial management or my money management things, I had to start making some adjustments. Okay. So when I made those adjustments, things started being smoother and a lot easier over time. And eventually I got out of ruts, got out of the situation, started moving forward, started forward and acquiring more things. However, just because I got a few things, sometimes that little ugly head of the shadow drops back in your spirit before you know it, you start going back to what you used to do, as if you was like, as if everything was perfect, or that it was just supposed to happen like that, not taking heed of the true meaning of why you lost it, or everything got pulled away from you in the first place. And that was because you were supposed to be humble, and you were supposed to be a good and faithful servant to the energy that was given to you, because you got those gifts. So track, when 2020 hit, I caught the vision in 2019 that my own demise was coming if I didn't make a move and get out the game, period. Now, I talk about that a lot, but I want to expound on it, why it's so important for people that may or may not catch this, but I'll pray that you get it before it's too late. Is because when you've been in the industry, or you've been in the game, in any industry, in any business, if you be in there long enough, you're going to start seeing patterns. You're going to start seeing, especially if you got any level of success in it. And when you get to my level, where that you got to the top, and you start seeing, you're in the room with the owners and the operators, then you're going to see the game from a whole different point of view, because there's nobody in the way. When there's nobody blocking your blessings, when there's nobody intentionally trying to find a way to have a big eye little you over you, you start seeing how they think and how they look at you in relation to them, how they think in relation to you, and how they are going to constantly try to manipulate you in an inopportunist way, but in a more less than type of energy. I didn't like that. Not because I didn't understand it, because every business requires support. So track with me. Every business requires support, but not every boss wants to be a leader. Some people just like bossing people and keeping you in a subservient or subpar space compared to them. They got an ego thing. And that I didn't track with that, because I'm like, well, you're not no better than me. Now, this is my father talking now. This is how I was raised. No man or female is better than me in any sense. We all eat shit, and we all, as he would always tell me, everybody got to put their pants on one leg at a time. So with that being said, you might be in a better financial position than me based off of your principles, based off of your habits than I, but that doesn't make you better than me. It just makes you just allowed yourself to have more discipline than I did. Track. I hope you caught that. I hope y'all caught that one. Allowing yourself to have more discipline than the next person is what puts you in a better financial position than any other person. That's the only difference. I got a podcast that's going to come out called Poor versus Broke versus Rich, and we expound on that whole topic on the transition from being poor, broke, and rich, and the mentality shift once you start having good money and real money. The mentality shift from when you was poor, if you was getting out the mud, or you was a little dusty, if you wasn't born with steak and lobster every day, or red lobster and crab house every day, but you was actually born with Roman noodles and government cheese and stuff like that, you're poor. But transition to broke is just getting your job. You track with me? Just getting a job is just putting you in a position of either poor or broke. And that's a good space, because in broke, you can have a good life just being broke. Like, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of cars that's high-end cars with a whole bunch of broke people in it. Mind you, I'm one of them. So I'm not talking about nobody. I'm talking about myself. I still got a car though. You feel what I'm saying? I still got a car though, so I'm not above being broke. But I understand what it is now. Why? Because I've been in the room with rich people. Okay? When you get in a room with rich people and you're learning from rich people, there's a difference when you're just in a room and they just talking like I'm rich and you're poor, or I'm rich and you're broke. That language is different. But when you're in a room with rich people and they're telling you, this is why we think this way, this is why we're rich, and then they start dropping the sauce to you, showing you the systems and the relationships, then that's when you realize, this is why I'm broke, this is why I need to change. And those signs of when I was poor, transitioning to broke, is when I start recognizing that for me to get rich, I gotta first think a different type of way. Second, I had to make sure that when I'm thinking a different type of way, that I'm following the actions behind that way. Track with me? So when I was transitioning from that space to that space, that's a different type of paradigm. Why? Because anybody can tell you that shit, but it's It's a lot hard when you gotta do that shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot harder when you gotta do those particular things. You feel what I'm saying? The reason being is because now, at this point, you have to literally unlearn, undiscipline yourself to a habit that was not financially positive for you. Because it's good to get money. You feel what I'm saying? Money is good because it's energy. It's just learning what it is. The thing is, what you do with that money once you get it is where the funny part get in. When you're going off, and the reason I can speak on this spot because I was the promoter of the shadow. I'm the one that want to bring you in and spend all that money you just worked hard on to get drunk and fucked up and spend it on other people that you worked hard on. Now, some people had so much money that they could afford to do that. You know, my street hustlers, my high level executive. That's why it's a gentleman's club. But there's people that was just working 9 to 5 that couldn't afford to drop $500 like that, or $20, $2,000 like that. They had to think about that situation. So they was trying to get the bang for their buck at all times. And my job was to give you that ambiance, to give you that ambiance as the person who said it's only money. but it was a true statement. It was only money, but was it all the money you got? I don't know. That wasn't my job to pay attention to that. That wasn't my job to care. My job was to say you walked in, you knew what you was walking in that sense. So because you walked in like that, you know, shit costs. Ain't shit free. So with that being said, you know, my job was to get you to spend. And it wasn't my job. My job was to organize and make sure I managed and kept everybody in good, happy spirits so that they was in a good space to keep spending. I.e., the same way the casino works. But they're on a higher level than me. You feel me? You know, I'm just all about the lower level experience. You know, that was the energy that I was professionally trained to do. Why? Because I was in the game. And my MO, i.e. Don P, the gentleman, was my mantra from when I got in the game in 2006, 2007 to when I had to exit the game in 2019 was I was going to be the brand. I am the business. I am not Don P, photographer, Don P, thing, Don P, promoter, Don P, this. No, I'm Don P, the gentleman, period. I'm the business. I'm the gentleman's club business because that was the type of person I considered myself to be. I wasn't going to be a mediocre type of dude. If I'm going to be successful in anything, I'm going to be all in or I'm nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So when you understand that level of commitment, then you're going to apply yourself at that level to get to the level that makes sense. So when the creators start telling me like, look, this ain't it for you. This ain't your bottom line. Then at that point, I had to get out the game. But to get out of that game, it started showing me the signs. It started giving me the signs that, hey, nigga, if you don't pay attention, I'm showing you signs like, all right, you keep playing with me. I'm going to show you, but I can tell you who's really the boss around here. I'm going to, hey, how you doing now? I'm going to show you who I'll tell you who is the one that's going to, who's really running everything. And when the universe starts showing me the signs like, listen, all right, I'm going to fuck your money up. Cool. All right, I'm going to fuck your car up. Cool. I'm still not thinking at the time. I'm still not thinking. Because remember, everything comes in threes. When shit start happening, it's going to come in threes. I promise you, that's a lesson. So I started looking. All right, fuck my money up. Cool. Fuck my car up. Cool. Next thing you know, I get raided. Done. At that point, I seen a glimpse of my death. Literally, I seen myself laid out. And then I got a dream right after saying, nigga, you gonna get took out, not by somebody intentionally because I've been good to everybody. I ain't fucked over nobody. You feel what I'm saying? If something ain't right, I just make a move and to figure it out. It's when I got the vision that I was gonna be took by somebody intentional. It was that they was gonna go after somebody else and I was gonna get caught with it. So I was gonna die in the game that I made the most money. I was the most fucking successful in. The one that you couldn't tell me shit in because I did it from the bottom and got to the top. You couldn't tell me nothing. Why? Because I did it. I finally got to a place where I felt like I was the man and I was the self. I was full of myself. But then the creator said, nigga, you are not full of yourself. You need to get out of yourself and get in my alignment and say, listen, I ain't even about to play with you. I'm going to kill you. Straight like that. If there ain't no more gangster, then when the motherfucker who said, hey, look, you go ahead and say, nigga, if you keep playing with me, I'm taking you out the game because you wasting your time, your energy, your voice, your skill, your uniqueness, your exoticpreneurship with this dumb shit. But I know, just like Moses, I'm not a Bible scholar, so don't quote me on this, but just like Moses, I do know the story though. When God punished him for striking a rock, he said, I'll show you what the promised land is, but you're not getting in that lane. You're not going to win like you think you're going to win. You're going to die outside of that. So I got that same vision where it said, I'm going to show you what it's like at the top, but it's time to go. So know what it's like, what it feel like to be up there with all the big boys, but it's time to go. And that was that third sign when I said it was time to go. And with that being said, I got the fuck out of Dodge, said to say no more, and I went back to zero. But with this zero, I had a different type of peace, had a different type of energy, had a different type of understanding. Now, mind you, I still didn't understand it at the time. When I was going through it, it don't make sense. Now, I want y'all to track with me. When you going through that stuff and you losing all your friends or so-called friends or the people that you thought you was in alignment with, when people start saying, oh, you ain't shit because you fell off, not understanding that it was a method behind that shit. It was a reason why shit was getting fucked up. It was a reason why you started losing money. It was a reason why you couldn't even fulfill shit that you was trying to do. It was a reason behind that shit, that even though you was trying to make good on everybody's shit was hitting you so hard you couldn't even keep your head above water. Nigga, I had to go back to sleeping on floors. I had to go back to like trying to figure out how to get Peter to pay Paul to cover this shit, to do this shit, to deliver on this shit, and this shit going up, and this shit fucking up, and this shit happening. All of this shit is happening, and I'm still trying to keep the head above water so I can still stay honorable and respectful to the people that did fuck with me. So all this shit is happening over the last couple years, only to get to the position now that things are now getting back on track. Why? Because the lesson happened. I met the mentor. I met the coach. I met the leader, because I was not a person that was above leadership or above getting in front of people. I was never above that shit. The thing is, I chose the wrong leaders. Instead, I was supposed to be led by the one that put it all together. I was supposed to humble myself and allow myself to be open to receive the blessings and givens from the right leaders. And so when my coach that brought me into the next level and said, look, I got something for you, and brought me in the room. And then from there, I met my mentor and my teacher, my virtual mentor, Martin. I got to sit down and work with the dude. I got to sit down and rock with the dude. But in that space is when I realized all my thinking was right on type, but just put in the wrong space. So my message to you is, if you've been going through things and things start happening to you in 3, that's the universe, that's God, that's the creator, that's whatever you believe in, Allah, the Scientology, whatever the fuck, trying to tell you a lesson that it's time for you to sit back, take assess, reset, and then get back on the mission that was meant for you. If that means that you got to cut off everybody off just to get back on track, do it. Trust me, they'll get over it. If that means you got to sit back and start praying a little bit more, do it. It'll get back to you. It also means that you need to get in alignment with somebody that's been there and done that. Okay? You need to do that. That's a tip. Don't shoot the message, just understand the message. Okay? You need to get in alignment with that wants best for you. You need to get in alignment with somebody that can help you get to that next level. Now, me, I offer myself up as one, because I've been there and done that with the best of them. You know, I offer that if you want it. You know, If you don't, that's fine. Hey, look, I'm not a bells and whistle person. I'm not going to show you no fancy cars. I'm not going to sell you no dream. That's not my MO. You know what I'm saying? My MO is to show you what I learned early on, but how it is really applied. And that's belief is everything. Straight like that. Belief is everything. That little mustard seed is what is determining if you're going to go to the next level or you're going to stay right where the fuck you at. That little mustard seed. Because it's only a belief of faith or belief in fear that's going to keep you there. Now, me, I work in absolute, unquestionable, undoubtable belief. And belief is nothing but faith aligning with your action. That's all it is. Faith aligning with your action and moving. That's it. Now, I wrote a book all about it that details this stuff. You can get it for free. It don't matter to me because at the end of the day, my goal is not to sit here and get rich off of people people learning. My goal is to impact you in a space where that you at least get moving. You feel what I'm saying? Like I tell people all the time, you're going to do something when you get around in my energy. There's one or two things that's going to happen. Either you're going to get inspired and get busy, or you're going to get inspired and get the fuck on. That's the only thing that's going to happen in this energy. That's it. But what you're not going to do when you get around me is be still. Because still gets you dead. Still gets you stuck. Still gets you stagnated and still gets you broke. Now, if you want to be on the level that we on the path to greatness, rock with the kid. Because that's the level I'm on. We put shit together. You feel me? You know, actually, for those that are looking for an opportunity to just get into a different space and just learn something different, I'm offering a free course this Sunday. Absolutely free, no strings attached. All you got to do is just register. And actually, I wasn't even thinking about it, but since it's up and stuck, you know, I'm going to share it with you. It's called Simplified Greatness. Simplified Greatness. Where that if you're looking to at least just learn a new skill or just understand the value of what's happening around you in the world, and you know you need to get into this game, and it's the online game. If you need to get in that online game, I'm offering an absolutely free course. I'm about to change this. I wasn't thinking about it, so you know this. I don't get on. I'm not here trying to push nothing like that, you know. But you know this is the space, you know, and I don't know who's gonna catch this replay, but if it's up, it's stuck. You feel me? You know, you can go in there and literally get access to a free class on what I know, what I've already started doing, what I've already perfected. You know what I mean? And that's how to build. How you're gonna learn my method of how I break down complicated shit to a simplified form for I can teach anybody, but also you'll be able to teach other people. Second, you're gonna learn how to create leads through the internet. Okay, a lot of people do it a lot of different ways. I'm a person that studied from the top. Why? Because I understand the big shit. My brain works on big. It don't work on small. It works on big. I just made a post about it. If you think small, you get small results. You think big, you get big results. It's real simple. So I think big. So I look for all of the people from 100 years ago to now, how they think, how they move, how they operate. And then I looked at the current people that's doing it on the biggest levels, and I learned from them. And trust me, I got access to a lot of them. I was so fortunate. I can't say it was me. It was the guy. It was definitely God that put me in the room with all of the top people to put me on. And for that, because I was the person that was looking for a way out of no way, and I didn't have the money to get in those rooms, I was the one that had to hustle, meaning I had somebody who knew somebody that got me in the room. That's why I'm offering this course, because I'm in the room. So I'm reaching out. I'm throwing that olive branch to those that want to be in this room, what they do. And that is absolutely no cost to you. All you got to do is just go to Simplified Greatness, hit the link, schedule, and set yourself in the room. Because the space is limited. Space is straight limited. Like, because I know what it's worth, meaning these people right now, and you'll see on the website, somebody actually inboxed me saying, why are you doing this? And I told them why. You go on the website, you'll see. People charge $3,000 for this shit, straight like that. It's $3,000 worth of value, just me teaching it. Straight like that. I promise you. When you go on that website, you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, and trust me, I built the website myself. So I'm showing you, I'm not going to tell you off of theory. I'm not going to tell you off principle. I'm going to tell you off what the fuck I did. Because I'm that guy that can, people come to me. They came to me not because I was the fancier talker. I'm the one that they hire to get the shit done. I'm the nigga behind the scenes. I'm not the Henry Ford. I'm the one that Henry Ford hired to make shit better. I'm that nigga. So you're gonna learn from the nigga who teaches the other niggas how to do the shit. So that you will have unbiased knowledge. You'll have unbiased skills. You'll have straight from the horse's mouth type of shit. So all that shit, I got you. Hit me out, hit my line, hit me in the DM if you're ready. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So all of that will get done. You know, and I'm a firm believer of educating while you learning. So learning while you earning. You feel me? Because that's the best way. I like y'all to get in the trenches right along with me. You know, if you're open to it. If not, that's fine too. I'm for hire. You know, I just don't come cheap. I come strong. Don't hate me. I just love me. You feel me? You know, I'm an exoticpreneur for a reason. You feel me? I'm a graphic designer, so I think uniquely, but I'm also came from the exotic game. It's a double up. It's a double up, but the double up. You're gonna get a little bit of everything with this bad boy. You know what I'm saying? But on that tip, I will teach you. But real shit, 100% real shit. It's the last free course I'm offering. Because at the end of the day, I've been in the game 15 plus years. I reach back as much as I can. I'm getting older. Time don't stop for nobody. It ain't gonna stop for me either. So I gotta go and get this bag on this next level with its people. And I much rather have you come with me than to just follow me and watch me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not that type. I'm not a ladder. I don't want you looking at my ass when I'm coming up. Instead, I'm a step. I want you to step with me and we both come up. That's how I was raised. That's how my father wanted us to be. That's how I am now. And I won't stop being that way. I was in the game helping people get out and get on. I'm out the game because clearly God wanted me out the game, obviously, because I had a different voice. It was a different message. The message now is to define your purpose and wear with pride. No matter where you come from, you got somebody who operates on the highest level that's willing to show you how we do it, show you how they do it, show you all these niggas is, some niggas is real and some niggas is fake. But what ain't bullshitting is them checks that they getting. There's no bullshit. Them niggas is making $1 million. They making millions. And I know how they doing it. And they doing it a lot of different ways. Some of them, anyway, amen to you. You know, hit me a DM when you're ready. We can tap in. But I'm a nigga on transparency. I'm all about transparency and authenticity. I don't deny who I am and I don't hide what I am. I love people. I love myself. I love women. That's it. I don't love money, but I know how I use it. I know how to spend it. I know how to acquire it. And now I'm in rooms where that people are teaching, where I'm learning how to leverage it the right way. A lot of us don't leverage it the right way. But I'm in a room with some whites and some blacks and some Jews. They show you how to play the money game the real way. Because a lot of people are just selling it as a hustle, and it's bigger than that. I do real business. I teach real business. I don't teach partial. I hate that. Now that's, if you want to learn something that I hate partiality. What I mean by that. And I'm going to be done with this live because I know I'm going over. I can talk, y'all. I can talk for real. I hate partial knowledge. Give me the whole deal and let me decipher it. Respect that I have intelligence, that I'm not just a basic person. I might not understand everything you said, but just give it to me whole. Just tell me the whole cake. Like, hey, this cake might make you bubble. This cake might got a lot of sugar in it, so it's gonna make you sweat, but it's gonna be good to the motherfucker. I'm cool with that. Let me make the decision if I want to eat the cake or not. That's all I ask. Give me something that if I ask you a question, if we got that type of rapport where I ask you a question, I expect a real nigga answer. I don't want a fake now, a bullshit answer, or write the fake answer on the law because you're intimidated by me. Because you scared I'm going to get in the same room that you in. Bitch, it's 8 billion people on the planet. Who gives a fuck? If I show you how to make $1 million off of $20, but I'm making $1 million off of $1,000 deals, who gives a fuck? Why? What we both got in common? $1 million fucking dollars, right? And I think like that. Why? Because rich people, no, take that back. Correction. Rich people don't think like that. Wealthy people do. Wealthy people think in forms of abundance. And abundance in real terms and in biblical terms is all about each one teach one in simplified version. It's all about what I know. I'll teach you what I know, alone that you qualify yourself. The qualification is showing up. That's first qualification. Show the fuck up. Second qualification, don't come with an ego. Come with humility. Third qualification is being humble and open. Open to the knowledge, open to the ability to learn something different. And if you understand, if you allow yourself to be open and stuff, mind you, I'm from Detroit, so this is not a common knowledge. This is not common talk in Detroit. Mind you, I'm from a city where that it's not that we don't want to help each other. We just can't help not to watch each other. You know what I mean? So if you allow yourself to be in those three things, I can guarantee you. I don't have to guarantee success. I can guarantee you'll know the process to get successful. Why? I've been successful several times over. This is nothing to me to be successful. The only thing I didn't want to do this time around, because that was the vision, but that was the message inside that, is this time I'm not going to be the smartest nigga in the room. Instead, I'm going to be the dumbest nigga in every room I'm in. But I'm going to make sure that I'm educating everybody else to get in the room, and you will know why. It won't be no fugazi. It won't be no bells and whistles. It won't be, look at my car, that's why you got to give me $1,500 or $5,000. Instead, look at me, the humble servant that want you to learn, want you to give it. I'll give it to you if I could. Unfortunately, the servers don't tell me that. I still got to cover that cost. So alone that I can cover that cost, you can have it. I don't give a shit. It's only money. Period. Use it for what it's for, but gain the wisdom and knowledge behind it so that you can benefit from it abundantly. And with that being said, I humbly thank y'all for coming on this live or catching this replay. I need y'all to stay healthy. Let us get wealthy. Don P out.